Your loyalty. What a way we roll with the family. We don't show off when we kill people, but them no man tough up in a war. Me give them a blind, them cat a bag of life. Me feel say them take it too far. Yo, me quiet and simple, simply means we no talk a lot. Spike our do some chatterbox. When we say go for everything, no half a quarter that. No man no feed the one, go pay puppy way you back a lot. Boy chest gun is a shock attack. Operation, what a way we a spark a shot. Who got them up and gone home with a heart attack? And after that, me woulda post a photo, but me rather not. Me no bad that post and brag a lot. Walk and act a lot. Lyrically DJ doggy, we no rap a lot. Then span the ends, man a pull up and no sprag a lot.
Hello from my Gambia. Today in our story we bring you one of Gambia's leading dancehall artists, E.N.C. E.N.C has been in the music game for over a decade now, and we are really honored and happy to have him today.
Go, baby, give me some more. I could have fast and slow. Killer with the killer with the killer with the how your body too nice and special. Killer with the killer.
It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure. My Gambia, how's everybody doing? How you doing? You and you watching this story. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Awa, for having me.
First of all, I would like you to break down your name for us, because I think it's an acronym for something.
Alright. E.N.C stands for my real name and my surname. E stands for Essa. C stands for Colley. N is just and. It's just conjunction, like when you say R&B. So it's E.N.C, my name and my surname.
I understand that you have been in the game for over a decade, but right now we see that you are more into promoting young upcoming artists and aspiring DJs, promoters, and so. Why is that?
I always do. That's been part of my journey from day one. I believe in sharing and caring. Like whatever I achieve, I want to share that with a lot of people around me. And that's one way our industry can go to heights that we need. I mean, no matter what I achieve, I want to achieve with people. I want to see people as part of the achievement, for them to also achieve something from my achievement. You get me? Because I've also been supported to get here by other people. So the only way we can all do it is to support each other. You know what I mean? So if I do a big show, know that someone else is part of the show that is actually gonna take that as an achievement.
So what has the challenges been since the journey started?
My challenges, that's a tough question. Like everybody faces challenges, right?
Then what are the biggest?
I think my biggest challenge, I would say, that I can remember for now is Gambia is a very different country. Sometimes people might say, I don't have the support from these people, I don't have this financial, I don't have, everybody could complain that, but I don't really complain that, because I think sometimes when you don't have something, you don't wait for it to come, you create it. That's my mindset. And they get to help me back. You know what I mean? You have to help yourself first for you to be able to move. We all have financial constraints, beginning with studio recording fees, the video filmings and everything. But over 10 years, I always think and say, what can I create to help this for me? What can I create to help this for me? And support yourself. And of course, you'll find one or two people that will support you as well. But how do I put this out now? We're living in a country where I feel like people don't really understand certain things, and that's my challenge. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand the industry, how it works, right? Even the industry players, most of them don't understand how it works. You look at the movie set, most of people don't understand how the movies work, how the music industry works, how modern industry works, and a lot of things, you get me? So that sometimes push you to a corner where you go way ahead of time, and you have to, instead of you keep moving, you start coming back to meet the people. You know what I mean? Like when you get so ahead of time, you get lost, because the people that are following you, you don't even see where they are. So instead of you keep moving, you start coming back to meet time again. That's the challenge in Gambia. That's why when you look at many things, you realize that this is good. People are talented, but it could be more than this. When you look at every sector, you see beautiful models. They have everything. You see nice actors and actresses. They have everything. But you get to wonder why some industries are still struggling. It's not, the problem is not the people inside there. I think, like their figure, or their, it's the understanding of that particular industry, how it works, how we can market it. You get me? So that has been, for me though, that has been the challenge. I think Gambians don't really understand how the music industry works. But lately, they are getting into it. That's why things are changing, different from our generation. You get me? Yeah.
Yeah. So you are saying that some of these things are leading people to go back, and then looking at you and how your career is going, it's really not going back, but it's on the track. How do you keep it growing and settling these challenges that you are facing?
Right. I would never complain personally. I have a very steady career. I don't brag to say this, but people have started the music together with.
Yes.
No one is there doing it still. You get me? You might be recording, putting out songs, but I'm still here. I'm booked out I do tours 11 months a year, every year, since the past decade. Mm-hmm. Not only Gambia, touring Europe, touring like I'm busy. I have a very busy career. You know what I mean? I have my own little record label, right? I produce my music. I am a professional graphic designer. I do all my photo shoot retouches, all my flyers, and I do that as a job for a lot of companies and people. So I have a very established career, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. But what I'm not happy about, I don't want to see only me doing like that. I want that to resonate with a lot of people, because at the end of the day, it don't have to be one man's success story. I want to see different E.N.Cs. I want to see, look at other artists like, yeah, he's going beyond E.N.C. Another one is also going beyond that. That will make me push more. You know what I mean? But if it's like surrounded and centered only on one person, the person gets to be comfortable someday, and it don't grow a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? So when I look at the dancehall music, I want to see many other artists doing the same thing, achieving their goals, filling up venues, touring the world. You know what I'm saying? Touring Gambia. I really want to see that. But I keep hard work. I keep consistency for me to be able to be here today.
Let's talk about your entertainment brand, Worldwide. You are using this to push other upcoming artists and aspiring entertainers, right?
Yeah. It's actually, how do I say it? It's a small company, as I said in the beginning.
And it's the fastest growing entertainment company right now.
Well, doing our thing, we have a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that we really want to do. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of plans I have for some particular artists that are under my label now. I don't publicize them yet, but they're at recording level. They've recorded a lot of songs. I'm about to present them to the public very, very soon. And then if we have our everything in place that we're trying to put together, the world is going to hear them soon, right? Why I said World Vibe Entertainment is that I came from a generation where there were no platforms for artists. There was no open mics, there was no concerts where artists are booked. There were no Facebooks, no YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We came from that generation. We don't have smartphones then. Imagine how people even get to have our music. We came from generation of cassette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard. That was not easy. Now this generation kids have WhatsApp to send music to. They have Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So everything is a lot more easier. Our time, you don't see studios around, but now I have studio in my house, right? So I want all the artists to have accessibility to things they need to be better, things they need for them to achieve their dreams, right? That's why I set up these little things, a studio and my graphic studio and stuff, to give chance and opportunity to other people that actually need it at the time. You know what I mean? Most of them is actually even free. I see people that I feel like they're telling me, yo, come to my studio. I have a very busy schedule or whatever, but I try to squeeze in one or two people and say, all right, come. Sometimes some people just need a little push to make a big impact. You know what I mean? And when I see those type of people, I just feel like I want to be part of supporting you and stuff like that. So World Vibe is basically that, to give chance to other people that actually deserve it at that time, and if you give them that support, they can become better.
Your loyalty, what a world we roll with the family. We don't show off when we kill people, but them no man tough up in a war. Me give them a blind, them cat a bag of life. Me feel say them take it too far. Yo, me quiet and simple, simply means we no talk a lot. Spike out, do some chatterbox. When we say go for everything, no half a quarter that. No man no feed the one dopey puppy way you back a lot. Boy chest gun is a shock attack. Operation, what a way we a spark a shot. Who got them up and gone home with a heart attack? And after that, me would have post a photo but me rather not.
Okay, recently your newest EP is online.
Yeah.
Dark Mode. What is it about?
I made that EP during a couple of months back when Corona just hit. I came from my Europe tour and I was supposed to go back this summer, right? But then due to COVID, everybody stayed home, and so me waking up, sleeping in my house, my studio. I had an album that I was supposed to do. It was an international album, right? But I wanted to do music that is very current, that's gonna connect to people's mood, things that people are facing at this point in time, right? So I decided to do a strictly dancehall EP for people that love listening storylines, people that like wordplay, people that love lyricism, So I did Dark Mode for that. So I just feel like, I want to do a song to show people how creative you can be as an artist, to put words together and play them. So I did one song called We Now, right? After doing that, I went on Twitter and told people, I did this song and it's gonna come out so yeah? So I saw some reaction that told me people wanna hear that, right? Then me though, I always wanna be in a creative space. So I sat back and said, okay, why not just doing one song? Let me do a full EP so they can have a transition from one song to the other, right? And I said, cool, I'm gonna do a whole EP. Then I recorded. I didn't release that single. I waited till I recorded the whole EP. I released the EP out, and thank God, it's my most successful project I've ever done since I started music. You know what I mean? Since I started music, it's my most successful project, and and it's dancehall music for the record. Dancehall music has never been a music that people really paid attention to.
Yes.
That's why a lot of dancehall artists got problems. It's not that they're not talented, they are very mad talented, but people don't really pay attention. So if you don't really know how to maneuver into that to get the attention, you get to have a blockage or a margin along the way. You feel like people are fighting you or people are stopping you. Faker. It's not even that. There's a way to go around it. You just have to network more. You just have to reach out more and find out what to do.
You're really inspirational. So my question would have been, what are the negative impacts Corona had on you? But I would like us to inspire people more, because everybody knows how the COVID has affected people's life. I want to know, what are the positive impacts it had on you?
Yeah.
What do you think people could do in this Corona? Do you think they should still sit back home and wait for it to all end before they start doing their success? Or do you think we can sit back and in our house and still make a success?
Yeah. Well, when COVID just came and the first lockdown came, if I was not a strong person, I could go mad because of the amount of money I lost, some tours I was supposed to do, and some investment personally, right? But look at it from this perspective. I'm a guy that want to sell more of a success story than something that will drain someone's energy. So when COVID came, I couldn't do shows, I couldn't go out. Thank God I have a studio in my house and I'm a musician. I write my own music, I can record my own song, mix and master it, and put it on iTunes and Spotify, right? I said, that's a blessing for me, okay? And I'm a graphic designer, a professional graphic designer. Knowing how graphic design works, you can live in your house without going out, or you are working full time. So I'm like, okay, how can I put these things and stay in my house and work? So COVID actually turned out to be a very good year for me financially. I've lost a lot of money, but COVID paid me good money as well while in my house working. Okay, I did something called Dub Plate Session. I did season 1.
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Yeah, I did because people love dancehall reggae music in Gambia. They call it a small Jamaica, right? But I think people in the reggae dancehall space don't really take the advantage of that. Okay, you have to be smart, you have to be up to the time, you have to be current, you have to really know how to do it. So I sat back and said, there's a lot of DJs in the Gambia and they play this music, but they barely have dub plates from Gambian dancehall artists. I have been doing it for a long time, right? But to take it to a whole level, during the COVID, I did it because actually I had time in my hand. I'm not doing shows. I'm like, while I'm here, I'm gonna give DJs this opportunity to get the dub plates from me. Yeah, those that have been reaching out that they couldn't get it, I'm gonna give them a chance to get it now. The dub plate session paid me a lot of good money. It wouldn't make you rich or change your life, right? Yes. But good job. You know what I'm saying? And I did that, and the season 1 was sold out. I was sold out. Today I'm going to thank all the DJs who understood the idea, who worked with me on it. But I'm just telling people, look at your creative self, think of things that makes you creative and that you think your creativity lies, be involved in it more, research more, and find a way to transform your life to being a virtual life. Because look, we like it or not, Corona have changed the world and it might not be the same again. Even if everywhere is open, the world is not going to be the same again. Because keep it at the back of your mind, we never expected the COVID, but it came. Okay, and the world is at standstill. Everywhere in the world is changed. We have to change our ways of working. Our offices, they have to start looking at how they can virtualize our database systems. This is from the top sectors down to the bottom. Offices, let's look at ways when something like this happen, your staff can be working from home. Let's digitalize our system. You know, musicians, build your platforms, build your Instagrams, build your Facebooks. Your audience that comes to your shows, make sure you have them on your platforms so you can be in your house and perform for them when you can't go out. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what coincidentally, 2 years back I was chatting with a friend and I told him, look bro, do you know that someday artists are not gonna go to the stadiums and do concerts live for people? You might only do an Instagram live and you get your money through the viewership. And he was like, yeah, but he couldn't really understand. And this time I never knew something like COVID would come. So even if it wasn't Corona, things will change someday.
Indeed.
In Gambia then we had telecenters, right? If you were a real Gambian and you were here, you know how that works. You have telephone booths or you go to houses, pay little money and call. Okay, in 2001 we had cell phones, right? But now lately we have cell phones that don't even need to use a SIM card. You use an eSIM, right? Someday your cell phone will even look like this. It will look like something else, right? So times change. We have to think of ahead of time. That's my life. That's how I think.
Can you count for us how many albums you've released?
What I've been doing was I make a lot of songs and put out singles, and at the end of the year I compile these singles and launch it as a project. Okay, I've never been in a haste to do an album because how our industry was structured, there was no protection of the music. Right, and many artists were so vulnerable to that. You fall victim for it. It's not your fault because you were talented, you have music to share, but there was nothing that was protecting your music. So at the end of the day, you do an album, next minute someone have the whole album on their phones and sending it Bluetooth, and you know that was killing you as an artist. Something that should have been putting revenue back into your pocket, you know, other people are taking and selling it. You don't have the power in your hands to stop that. It could have only been done collectively or at a stage where government might come in, like the arts and culture or something. So they've been working on it since then, right? But it was hard to execute. So what I do is when I put out my mixtapes at the end of the year, I do a big launching and people come, and what we have at the gate, that is it. And I have shows from that. I get my booking. So that's how I've been making my money.
How soon is the next project then?
Dark Mode is doing the beats right now. Dark Mode is launched just 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
Right, so Dark Mode is doing well right now. I've done videos for all the songs on it, and about to release 2 more videos from it actually. But before Dark Mode was recorded, I already have an album recorded and sitting there. So I've always, and even after the album, there are other songs recorded. So I can actually release new music 3 years later, 4 years later. I have a lot of music sitting in my studio already. So it's just up to me to say, okay, this is the current situation. This is the music I'm gonna put out. This is what is happening. This is what I need to put out. So time will tell me what to put out. I'm just waiting for this lockdown thing to sink in.
Yeah.
We are gearing towards a big concert at Q City, by the grace of God, or some are calling for the stadium. So let's see what's up.
You might want to still give some advice to the youths that are coming. It's not easy to be in the music industry, especially the dancehall I think is the one that is most lacking behind right now. You can say probably because most of the people are into the other genres of music, but dancehall is a very nice genre as well. But there are a lot of artists that start with it and then later they balance to the other genres because they feel that it's not going. So the consistency always is lacking. What would your advice be to them?
Well, I'm gonna start with the minors. Like, there are a lot of people that look up to us, especially the figures like me. I always want to share this, like, be prepared before you come into anything you're doing. Okay, music is a very funny game, yeah. Now, you might start music, and your first soundtrack might be your hit song that will sell you to the world, right? And if you are not prepared after that, because people will start expecting more. When you do a nice track as your first income, right? People will start expecting. How do you keep up with that? Can you actually keep up with that? Do you have a lot of content? Do you have a lot of lyrics? Do you have a lot of creativity that you can do as continuity, right? Some people start music and it takes them 10 years before they have a hit song. But they've been persistent and they've been grinding until they find the chance. So when you're coming in, you don't really know what your story is going to be. You just have something in you. You know you were talented, but be prepared at least. My thing is, before I start recording, I wrote over 200 songs. My books were all filled up with music. I wrote over 200 songs, as far as I can remember, before I ever recorded one song.
Wow.
And all these 200 songs I'm talking about, they have never been recorded still, because I use them as a story to inspire me to be writing. Right? Now I have songs in my head or written already that is more than the songs I've recorded ever. And the amount of songs I recorded now, there is no DJ on earth that have all my songs, because it's too much. So most of us don't have that preparedness in us before we get to the stage or before we get to the studio. So that's key. Be prepared. Know what you want. Secondly, you have to find out the business side of music. You really have to find out the business side of music. Don't sit and say, they don't help us, they don't rate it. Music don't have help. There's no help in music. Use it as support. Someone will see your talent and support you, but they don't owe you any of that. You owe that to yourself. But I'm sure when you get to a stage where you're doing something that people need, they request you, they come for you. People reach out to you. People want to be a part of you. People want to be part of success stories. Of course, success is attractive. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Some might think is money. No, money and success are different. You know what I mean? Your success might not be money, but be prepared for all of these things. And then listen to people, take advice, reach out, establish, build your platform, start. Don't be scared to fail. Trust me, don't be scared to fail. That failure thing is just a mindset. At the end of the day, you stand for something bigger than that. Because if you're scared to fail, you want to try all the times. And the more you try, the more you win. We've done a lot of shows, and the shows don't have a lot of crowd. But sometimes we do shows and it's sold out. I've seen many artists do one show, the show was no good, and they start giving up. I'm like, yo, why are you stopping? That don't define your greatness. Every artist on earth have done a show that really worked. Every artist worldwide. So who are you to do a show that don't have to have a problem? The problem might not be yourself. So don't give up. Like, do it. And we are in this modern age. Build your platforms, build your Instagrams, build your Facebooks, and brand it well. Don't be into violence and too much things that don't really make sense. Like, be about your art. Some people believe, why many dancehall artists have a problem in Gambia, because they believe that you have to go and disrespect someone to have attention, because that was the mindset many people,
Some start.
they would say, Vibes Cartel and Movado fight each other, that's why they made it. I never fight with anybody for me to make it in
Music.
I came and I did my talent and people support me and I went without disrespecting nobody. Find your strength and you know your weakness. You know things that you are weak at, but you know your strength. Focus on your strength and develop your weakness, man. You're gonna be better.
And what does the music industry offer to visitors or tourists coming to the Gambia?
I want Gambia at large, especially the tourism sector. Let me do this. Tourism sector, please look at arts as your main source of export to tourism. I think there's a line of understanding that our people still don't have. As I mentioned earlier, my biggest problem, the tourism sector still not using music as a priority or the creative art as a priority to attract tourists and investors. Trust me, music is one thing that can sell this country quick, snap, right? When you watch an artist video clip, there's a lot of things you can see, right? You don't even need to go online to watch all the videos to see the countryside. We're showing you the countryside. We're showing you our culture. We're showing you the fashion. We're showing you the food. We're showing you how people dress. We're showing you the streets, the neighborhood. There's a lot of things you can learn from 1-3 minutes content. Okay? And if the artists are seeing that our country is taking pride in that, we do it more. You wonder why you go to some countries, people are imitating other countries because of that's what you show them. When you turn on the TV, we want to see ourselves on the TV. I want to look at a show and I see, hey, that's yeah, she's doing good. I want to look at my own people. You know what I'm saying? We came at a time where we don't see ourselves on the TV. When we turn on the TV, you see strange faces you don't even know. Our advertisements were done by people that we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? You would see a Coca-Cola advertisement done by South Africans for Gambia. You know what I'm saying? And I am the Gambian that's supposed to buy that Coca-Cola. I want to see my own people advertising that for me. You know what I'm saying? Because these are things that counts a lot. We wanna see a reflection of ourselves. So I'm talking to the tourism board. This is very important. Man, we love our country. I take example. When I was on my Europe tour, there was no one day that I just wanna jump on the plane and come back to Gambia. That's how much we love this little country. It's beautiful here. We wanna come here. And anybody we know outside, I'll be telling people, hey, you need to visit Gambia. It's beautiful here. You don't know until you go to the rest of the. It's really beautiful here. We really want to sell this country, but make the creative industry a priority. Our fashion designers, our movie makers, our musicians, our models, our restaurant owners, the Gambian dishes and everything. Let's take pride in what we own. It's really going to take us very far.
Okay. So my last question, I would like you to send your message to the world. What would you want to say to people out there, your fellow Gambians, the world out there? What would you like to say as your last word?
Well, I'm sure probably someday I'll come back on this platform again and say, hey, hope you guys are doing good still. Let's take it easy. Let's be fine. Let's communicate. Let's have dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Especially about Gambia. Gambians don't hate each other. but they don't communicate. That's why we have a lot of problems within ourselves. Let's create more dialogue. Let the youth talk about themselves, their own problems.
All right, thank you very much, E.N.C. It was really nice to have you, and I guess it was really an inspirational story out there that our viewers will love. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, my Gambia. I love everybody, man.
When you cock up your bamba, you make me wanna kill a man with a long gun. Mkonto lubo kada injang, jege ma manu basa wala bansa. Mkonto lubo kada injang, killer with the killer with the killer with it. How your body too nice and special, killer with the killer with the killer with it. Girl your body too bad, so be a killer with the killer with the killer with it. How your body too nice and special, killer with the killer with the killer with it. Girl your body too bad, hey, sexy mama ngene naka. Mkoita bukama sumaraka. Ibaloji ja foita kodi, ibaloji ja foita kodi. Yadala nyinya foita kodi, fonse luolo foita kodi. Hey, sexy mama ngene naka. Mkoita bukama sumaraka. Ibaloji ja foita kodi, yadala nyinya foita kodi.